That is the magic question in consulting.
Yeah.
If we knew that, it would be a game changer. Hi, I'm Dr. Mike Carberry.
And I'm Colleen Carberry. And today we're going to play a game. Our staff asks us lots of questions and clients ask us a lot of questions. So what we decided to do today was to put all the questions in a bowl individually and pull them out and answer them for you. That's what we're going to do.
Ladies first.
All right. Your question. You ready?
No?
What one lesson you learned the hard way in business?
Oh, I hate that question.
Tell me.
One lesson I learned the hard way in business, trying to use force to get things done.
Tell me.
Telling employees, do it my way. It's only got to be my way. It's got to be my way. And realizing that they didn't know what my way was.
So what's that lesson you learned from that?
The lesson I learned is I got to have things written down and train people on it so they know what to do. And then I got to let them do it, not have me micromanage them.
Good. That was a good one. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You're up.
My turn.
All right, good. Let's see. Read me a question.
What is the most random conversation you've overheard here?
And I'm not sure if it's random. Let's just say it's randomly not good. How's that sound? Was a conversation between two staff members that were not our staff members, okay? And their conversation was, how do they get the business owner out of the practice?
Wow, that's a pretty...
That's a conversation I don't ever hear very often. So anyway, I kind of stepped in and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So I actually quickly repurposed the conversation into what could they do to support the business owner to overcome the problem, whatever they're having. Because the random question that I heard was, we're having this problem and what should I do about it? And the other staff member was like, well, if Dr. So-and-so wasn't there and we got rid of them, then we could do this. And I just reframed the conversation to that.
Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
That's a good way of putting it, yes. Okay, good, my turn. Okay, ready? All right, this is for you. What's the difference between a lucky month and real momentum?
Okay, that's a good question. A lucky month is dangerous because you think you're doing well and you don't know why you did well. And it's like, why did we perform so well? If you don't know why, you can't repeat it. And momentum is repeatable luck. And that means it's not luck, it's actually hard work and putting your nose to the grindstone and having systems in place so that you know what to do in any situation. If you don't know why you've earned something, you're not going to be able to keep it. Okay, what's the part nobody sees before a clinic has its best month ever?
All the hard work that they put into it.
Like,
you know that saying, which is you're an overnight success? You know, when somebody is successful, they're like, wow, you just made it, so you're so successful, like it just happened. It's all the hard work and tenacity and persistence that was put in prior to it when the thing goes.
You know, I'm going to add to that because a lot of times our coaches are working off of checklists that we created for our own clinics. And they're going down the checklist and they're telling clients to do these things and they get resistance. And that's natural, but the ones that finally cave in and do what they're being told to do, they're usually the ones that end up with the best month ever.
If you had a target where you were going, then those checklists make sense because you're taking one step closer to the target. The one thing we do with our doctors is right in the beginning, we have them set a target. We literally have them set a target. And, you know, you can set a target that's ambiguous. The target that makes sense is a money target. We're going to set a money target, and that's going to represent a growth of a clinic. So that question is what happens behind is the clinic owner, while nobody is watching, while everybody is sleeping and going about their life, is just plugging away, doing the next thing and the next thing, like you said, the checklist, the next thing, and then all of a sudden, publicly, it looks like they made it, and it happened overnight. Ready? What's one client story where the number was impressive, but the process behind it was even better?
Well, that would be a client that did really well. I'm trying to think of one. We have a lot. Yeah, we had a client in Kansas, in Milton, Kansas, which is a very small town. He was doing a very small number when he came to us because there was only 60 post office boxes in his town.
That's small.
And he actually, in the first year, got to over $1 million in that small town. And what happened was there was a lot of training with his case manager who came to a lot of our trainings on sales, and he came to a lot of our trainings and never missed calls that year. And the process behind it, he put everything in place that we taught him to put in place. And he went from like 240,000 to over 1 million in 1 year in a town that only had 6 post office boxes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Yeah, that's it. That just totally disabuses the idea of my town is too small.
Yep. What's one thing you always notice when you walk into a clinic or business?
The energy of the front desk staff, of course. You know, everybody thinks energy of the staff, greeting and that kind of stuff. The lighting, I'm sorry, but I've walked into a clinic recently. I went in and it was like, am I in a closet? Like the lighting, there were light bulbs burned out, right? The lighting was dark in there. And so even though the staff was like, hello, you walked in from the outside and it was like, you couldn't see. So to me, the lighting, the space size, okay,
Yeah.
all of that to me, it elicits energy. So if you have a space with a front desk and you have people back there greeting, right, smiling and greeting, the light is not harsh, but it's whatever it is, right? There's no bad smells, okay? The first impression is not just, hello, glad to see you. It's the total experience when you walk in.
For me, the worst thing you could experience with a clinic when you walk in is this. Can I help you? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
The worst thing, because it makes people feel like a number in a cattle chute.
Yeah, absolutely so. There you go. Okay, that's my answer. You can drop it. Oh, did I get to ask you now?
Yeah.
You never mix up the bowl. You never mix up the bowl. Which win made you think, okay, this doctor is really starting to click?
That would be Dr. Tristan.
Okay.
Dr. Tristan and his wife Bianca, really great doctors, young couple, started their first practice. They didn't even have a practice, and I remember I was on a call with them, and I was questioning my salespeople, why do you even have somebody who doesn't have a practice? But after I talked to them, I realized these two people are doers. They are unbelievable. We're going to sign them, and we're going to help them grow. And they did over $1 million their first year in practice.
Yeah, they're remarkable. They are really remarkable, yeah.
Yep.
And honestly, I think their first year of practice is next month. They hit the $1 million mark before the year was over.
Before the year's even over.
Yeah. So they're remarkable. I agree. Good.
When a clinic suddenly breaks a record, what do you think usually happens behind the scenes?
That the team pulled together and we're all pulling in the same direction.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
you know the Clydesdale horses?
Yep.
Okay, that they say that, you know, with one horse you can only pull so much. With 2 horses you don't pull twice as much, you pull 3 times as much, right?
That's correct.
I think behind the scenes, we're all achieving the same or after the same mission and vision, which whatever that is for the clinic.
When we first started growing, way back 30 years ago, I remember we had some staff members that didn't like growing, and they wanted to stop it. They didn't like the busyness,
Yeah,
and we replaced them
yeah,
because we weren't going to make them to set our goals for our career.
Yeah.
We had our own goals. So, yeah, it's that teamwork. I agree with you.
Yeah, that culture of pulling in the same direction. Yeah, good. Let's see. What do you think separates the clinics that implement from the ones that just listen?
You know, that is the magic question in consulting.
Yeah.
If we knew that, it would be a game changer. The ones who implement definitely do better. Definitely do better. So why do they implement? Well, I guess they've realized they need help. It's usually a trust thing. And, you know, when we teach certain things that we know work, because they've worked for us over and over and over again, there are clinics that go, well, I don't want to do it exactly that way. I'm going to make this change to make it better for me. And then they come back and say, it didn't work.
Yeah.
The reason that it works is because we put it through the tests already.
Yeah.
That's, you know, I'm a marketer. Marketers look at data and we split test. We try 2 different things. Which one worked better? Oh, this one worked better. Let's do more of this. That's what our clients are buying into.
Yeah.
But for them to start doing that on their own, who knows what they're going to end up with? We have a proven track record. So the ones who implement, it's because they're not second guessing. They're really reaching for help.